All right, and with me now are Bruce Weinberg of Bentley University and Nancy Koehn of Harvard Business School. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Nancy, explain this phenomenon, because a lot of these other stores are direct competitors. They basically have that same stuff, maybe not as much, but Target, a lot of these other Kohl's. Why Walmart and not the others?
I think because the Walmart brand is so closely associated for consumers with everyday low prices. Think about Kohl's and Target, and how they moved those brands very successfully up over the last 5 or 6 years into a kind of masstige or, mass value place. Well, that slight edge, that slight, association with a little bit of luxury, I think, makes consumers very nervous right now as they literally take their hands off their wallets in this amazing moment.
Bruce, what do you think this says about consumer confidence right now? The day after the election, apparently there was an uptick. People were out there doing a little shopping, feeling a little good about change. Of course, the market's been down 1,000 points in the last few days, too. But what does it say as we head into this holiday season?
Well, I think consumers have been aware of the reality that's been here for a bit and that will continue on. I just think some of the things that Nancy said were dead on. I think there's another element to it, though, as well. I think we've kind of shifted, and we have been shifting from an era of conspicuous consumption to one of a little bit of conspicuous compassion. And with the traditional economic measures, some of the things we're studying at Bentley, I think it's easy to explain that things are not going well here. But I actually believe there's an opportunity at some of this. And when you mention some of the value, I think there has been a shift in the change of values in companies. And I think from a pocketbook perspective, I think Walmart still looks compassionate to consumers from that perspective. But I think a variety of the other companies aren't delivering economic value. But I think there's another type of value, companies like REI, Whole Foods, that are contributing to societies in other ways with profits, and I think there's a little shift there. So while some of the news might sound bad with traditional measures, I think there's actually a lot of opportunity here, and I think the change has been happening.
Yeah, it's interesting because Walmart went really through a very bad spate of, public relations disasters with the way they were treating their employees and other things. And I mean, have they come on with a marketing plan that has turned that around?
I don't think so at all. I think this is this astounding moment where people just took their hands off the keys and took a huge yoga breath and said they didn't know what hit them. If you look at the drop-off in places like, Neiman Marcus, Saks, even the
Macy's.
Limited, the Gap,
Well, the
Macy's,
linens and things going out of business.
just huge double-digit declines in 1 month. I mean, it's like a car accident in the snow. Everyone stopped. And I think they just, in that pausing, in that shock and awe, went to Walmart. But I don't think the public relations problems, the deep-seated issues of that brand have gone away.
I mean, what about Costco, though? That's competitive with them.
Yes, but Costco didn't suffer as much as the others. I mean, Costco's declines are very, very small relative to, say, Macy's or anything more upmarket than that. And I think, again, it's almost like an instinctive knee-jerk reaction. Oh, my God, what is happening to my retirement, to my house, to my future? I better cut down to basic bare bones. And Walmart brand is all about basic bare bones.
All right. And I think as far as Costco, again, the notion of, I think maybe they had a drop of 1% in same-store sales and are doing well. But again, the notion of, and Nancy and I have talked a little bit about this movement called conscious capitalism, which a colleague of mine at Bentley, Roger Sodi, has been involved in, and John Mackey at Whole Foods. And I think in his book, Firms of Endearment, has talked about not just looking at their bottom line, but also caring about their employees, and I think to an extent their consumers as well, and to society to an extent. And that's a kind of value change that's going on.
You think that seeps into the consciousness of voters, of consumers?
Almost definitely. I think we are definitely in a shift with respect to retail, and I think some of the typical measures that we take for success, I think there's a reassessment of what's valued by the consumer, and I think it's definitely related to what's happening in society and what other people are thinking, not just what you as an individual believe.
I was looking at the unemployment statistics today. I mean, down another 481,000 this month alone. I mean, people can't go out and shop. I have some friends that are unemployed. You can't go out and buy new jackets or shoes or stuff that you might just do on an everyday or even on a whim. So this is probably partly the end of whim shopping for a night.
I think it is. I think it is the end of, shopping as knee-jerk or instinctive or rapid-fire therapy, right?
Retail therapy.
Right. I think it's that may be over, but I think we'll see once the shock moment ends, and it is ending, right? The election of Barack Obama is a shift, not just in the political winds, but in deeper, deeper winds as well. I think we'll see new opportunities for retailers around a different kind of shopping that connects people more with deeper values. You know, retailers that sell, you know, crafts and things that you can do with your family, or environmentally conscious gifts. I think we'll see a very different kind of ethos emerging. It'll take a while, but it'll be different than my flat screen TV is bigger than yours, ha ha.
You know, it's interesting to me that Walmart credited in part Halloween for their uptick. But I mean, a lot of, every store, including, you know, a Walgreens or a CVS, they're all in the sort of Halloween business. So it's interesting, once again, that it would be them.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that particular thing that would cause a shift, and I didn't know if...
They credited it in part.
Well, maybe there was a little bit of escapism from reality, which sometimes happen in tough economic times.
Well, remember, Halloween is all about your children.
Yeah.
And I think we'll still see the willingness of parents to spend money more carefully, right, with kind of better accounting on their kids going forward. How they spend that money, on what and with whom, are questions that I think are really up for grabs, up for play right now.
What do both of you think the big retailers are going to do right now? I mean, the holiday season has officially started, even though it's not Thanksgiving yet. What are they going to do?
They're going to promote heavily. I think a lot of orders went in months ago. The inventory's coming, or it's there, and they're just going to have to do as much promotion to move as much off the shelves as they can. I don't know what's going
discounting before
heavy discounting, a lot of promotions, a lot of ads, a lot of price deals. That's going to be the reality that they can do to try and stay above water. I wouldn't expect profits to do that well. I think what they're trying to do is generate as much revenue and survive through this mode at this time.
What do you think?
I think they'll do a lot of packaging. I think they'll mix and match things in little value meals, if you will,
That's
right?
a good idea.
Sweaters and scarves, and, you know, a child's toy.
It's funny you say that. I noticed that the other day, that they had a couple things. They were coupling things.
They'll be coupling things, low price things together. You know, the whole is cheaper than the sum of the parts. I think we'll see a lot of imaginative positioning and marketing and merchandising.
That's interesting. All right, Nancy Koehn, Bruce Weinberg, thanks so much for coming.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.